Hello and welcome inside a chilly alumni field here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Jeremy Parks alongside Dalton Pataki, bringing you the first of a three-game set, the second round of Big Ten play for the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the Northwestern Wildcats here on a, as we already mentioned, chilly Friday afternoon. Temperatures right around 40 degrees here in Ann Arbor. Dalton, looking at the game today, Michigan off to a hot start in Big Ten play, 3-0 in their opening series against Penn State. Outscored the Nittany Lions by a grand total of 28-0, including 2 run rule victories. Northwestern 1-2 to open up their Big Ten schedule. What are you looking for from the Wolverines here this afternoon?
Well, obviously with Megan Betza in the circle, she has to continue her reign of dominance. And, you know, we and all fans here at Alumni Field are on history watch today, as Megan Betza only 9 strikeouts away from 1,000 career strikeouts. So it'll be interesting to see if she can continue today to dominate batters like she has already this season against this Northwestern team. But don't get it wrong, this Northwestern team, they're a good team. They came in last year, they went 1-2 against Michigan, but they stole a win in a thrilling 13-12 game. And then also, Northwestern has the #1 ranked RPI strength of schedule in the nation. They play 62% of their games against the top 50 softball teams in the nation. So Northwestern certainly has something to prove, and even if they can pick up one this weekend in Ann Arbor, it's a good trip.
A lot of close games on that schedule for the Wildcats. We'll get to those in due time. Just about ready to get underway here, as we already mentioned, Megan Betza in the circle again for the Wolverines. 202 strikeouts on the season. She's going to face this top lineup of the Northwestern Wildcats. Batting first, playing center field, Sabrina Rabin. Batting second, playing short, Marissa Panko. Batting third in the designated player, Kenzie Ellis. We'll get to the rest as we go. Megan Betza ready with the first pitch of the game. Brings it inside for a called strike one to open this one up. First pitch, 6:04 p.m. here in Ann Arbor. Game time temperature 40 degrees even. Winds blustering back in from center field at 12 miles an hour. Betza readies with the 0-1. Brings it across, that one just a bit high and outside. Count goes to 1-1 on Rabin.
And the key is that fastball for Megan Betza. If she has control of that, it is just a stressful day at the plate for any opposing hitter.
Rabin hitting .346 on the season, 4 RBIs. The 1-1. That one, a check swing that pops up right over to Abby Ramirez as she settles underneath it and makes the catch for the first out of the game. A check swing that stays in play, and the Wolverines get the first out.
And that's huge that Michigan can keep the Wildcats off the board early and get a few runs, because head coach Kate and Carol Drowan, since that era began at Northwestern, more on that in a second.
Marissa Panko at the plate now. First pitch to Panko called. Strike on the outside part of the plate.
Since 2002, Northwestern has racked up 12 wins against the Michigan Wolverines. That's more than any other team in the Big Ten Conference.
Junior shortstop Panko awaiting the 0-1. That one high ball. 1-1 the count on Panko. Megan Betza uses that pitch to try and get hitters to chase up and away. That first pitch strike crucial in setting up that next pitch. Panko doing a good job of laying off. The 1-1. That one going to be foul, tipped back into the glove for a strike. 1-2 on Panko. The rest of the Northwestern lineup batting fourth at third base, Morgan Nelson. Batting fifth in right field, Anna Peterson. Batting sixth in left, Krista Williams. Batting seventh at second, Brooke Marquez. Batting eighth at first, Lily Novak. And ninth, the catcher, Sammy Netling. The 1-2 called strike 3. Down goes Panko for the first strikeout of the afternoon for Megan Betza. 203 on the season, and now 8 away from 1,000 career strikeouts for Michigan's star right-hander.
And just a little bit of gas on the high and outside black of the plate sends Panko looking, or excuse me, not Panko.
Yes, Panko.
Panko back to the plate.
That'll bring up Kenzie Ellis. First pitch to Ellis, an off-speed pitch that loops in, catches the bottom part of the zone for a called strike. 3 batters faced so far, 3 first pitch strikes for Megan Betza. Ellis, a .284 hitter, 1 home run, 23 RBIs. That's good for the team lead for the Wildcats. The 0-1, that one catches the outside part of the plate as well. Megan Betza hitting everything early here. Count 0-2 on Kenzie Ellis.
I don't know if there's a worse spot to be than down 0-2 to Megan Betza in softball.
A lot of room to work now in the 0-2 count. Betza gets her sign, winds and readies. That one just missing on the inside part of the plate. That's a well-located pitch. Close one for Ellis to take.
No,
the count now 1-2.
We're sat off a little bit to the right of home plate here, and from our angle, that looked like it might have got just enough, but
your home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl, not going up with the right hand there. The 1-2. That one just on the outside part of the plate. Again, a close pitch, maybe a bit high, maybe a bit outside. Count evens at 2-2.
Betza flashing that contagious smile in the circle, knowing she missed just by mere inches. So it's nice to see the confidence with her early.
Gets her sign, readies with the 2-2. That one outside again. Ellis taking all the way. Count now full 3-2 after Betza getting ahead to start this one 0-2. Looking for a put-away pitch here on Kenzie Ellis. 2 down in the inning.
It'll be interesting to see what she goes with here, as we've only seen fastballs if she uses some type of off speed.
The payoff pitch from Megan Betza. That one a swing and a miss. Strike 3, the second strikeout of the game for Megan Betza, the third out of the inning. And the Wolverines head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless 0-0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. How about Megan Betza there?
I mean, you almost come to expect it. If Megan Betza's in the circle and she starts out the first inning with anything less than 2 strikeouts, you're almost surprised. You start questioning what's wrong. Can she not control the fastball today? Is going to be a rough one.
Got to keep it on pace here.
What
a torrid pace it is to keep up with.
What a pleasure it is as Michigan softball fans can watch Megan Betza. They've been able to watch her throughout her career here. She is one of the best pitchers in the nation. I think undoubtedly the best strikeout pitcher in the nation.
Well, Northwestern coming into this one 1-2 in Big Ten play. They opened up against the now ranked Wisconsin Badgers last week, number 22 in the country at this point. They took an 8-inning affair, 5-4. That was the middle of the 3-game set, but got back with a midweek win against the University of Illinois Chicago, 10-4. Coming out into the circle now for the Wildcats, Kaylee Weingartner, the sophomore pitcher. This is a Northwestern bullpen that features 4 arms at the ready. They all share relatively equal inning duties so far this season. Weingartner, the lowest of that number, 40 innings pitched even so far this year. Opponent sitting 228 against her. Not a great strikeout to walk ratio, 19 walks, 25 strikeouts. Look for the Wolverines to maybe stay a bit more patient at the plate early here. Leading off for the Wolverines, your left fielder, Natalie Peters. Batting second, the second baseman, Faith Canfield. And batting third, today's designated player, Amanda Vargas. Weingartner gets ready with her first offering of the game. First pitch, a called strike on the outside part of the plate. The battery for Northwestern, Weingartner and Sammy Nettling behind the plate. Wind continues to bluster here. We've got the window open for the natural sounds, but I can see my breath at certain moments here in the booth. The 0-1. That one also relatively same location as the first, catching the outside portion of the plate, 0-2.
Although considering the forecast that was predicted for today last night,
it was looking like much more rain in the forecast than it turned out to be this afternoon.
Precipitation is held off, and we're able to get in a full game of softball today.
A full one and a chilly one. Weingartner looking for the first out of the inning. The 0-2 pitch to Peters. That one chopped. Back over to first base. Gathered by Novak. The toss over to second for Marquez. Peters beats out the throw. She's safe by a step at first. An infield single for the speedy Natalie Peters to open up the game for the Wolverines, and they have their first base runner.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Marquez maybe got caught looking at the play a little bit. It would have been close if Marquez was there, but she wasn't able to get there in time to step on the bag. And Natalie Peters, that speed just causes so much stress on any type of infield. We've seen it throughout the entire season this year, and Natalie Peters, definitely a bright future for the Wolverines.
Now at the plate, second baseman Faith Canfield. First pitch to Canfield. That one inside for a called strike. Peters, somewhat of a threat to steal over at first. She's 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts so far this season. Canfield hitting .347, the sophomore for the Wolverines. She's got 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. Weingartner readies with the 0-1. That one's going to be high. Canfield with a quarter cut. Does not go around. Peters taking a healthy lead over at first.
Maybe a pitch out there by Weingartner. Just setting it up so Netling can get out of her stance early and gun down a potential running Peters.
Weingartner readies with the 1-1. That one is slapped over towards second base. A diving play by Marquez. She drops the ball, and it should be an easy out for Northwestern now as they tag Peters on first. A bit of a scramble. That was an infield looped shot over to the second baseman Marquez, who made a diving play, dropped the ball in the process. Natalie Peters, thinking it would be caught for an out, scuttled back to first base. Canfield down the line, standing on the bag. Peters nowhere to go, and a tag out. So the first out of the inning for Northwestern, unconventional.
But an out nonetheless. And tough spot there for Natalie Peters, just nothing she could do.
Hard play for the Wolverines. Still 1 on. Canfield now at first. That brings up Amanda Vargas to the plate. First pitch, called strike.
Vargas has been absolutely thriving in the 3 spot, raising her season average now up to .368.
WCBN's own Kevin Klein and Morris Fabry talked to Amanda Vargas midweek this week about her success at the plate. You can catch that on our newest episode of East of the Rockies, debuting later tonight. The 0-1 pitch is low and outside for ball 1.
JP, where can they find that podcast?
On SoundCloud, East of the Rockies, or on iTunes. You can subscribe there as well. We'll be dropping on YouTube later this weekend as well with all of the archived episodes. Vargas standing in, waiting for the 1-1 from Weingartner. That one high, taking all the way, looping up above the letters. For a ball 2-1, Canfield down at first is 7 for 7 in her own right on the season in stolen base attempts. Looking over to Coach Carol Hutchins on the third base side. Vargas standing in at 2-1. Pitch from Weingartner. That one coming inside. Another close pitch, but home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl wasn't giving that to Megan Betza too much in the top of the first inning, and here in the bottom of the first, an equal call, 3-1 now on Vargas.
And as long as she's consistent behind the plate, that's all you can ask for.
The 3-1 pitch to Amanda Vargas. That one is in, and a called ball. Fell out of the glove of Netling in a way, but no stolen base to be had as it's ball 4, and the Wolverines now with 2 runners on and 1 out. And coming to the plate, Aiden Falk.
And Aiden Falk getting the start in right field today. Only her second career start in the outfield. Hutch putting her out in the outfield, has to keep that bat in the lineup. She's batting .325 on the year. And I mean, we may see some defensive replacements later on, but to get going early.
That one a swing and a drive out towards center field on the first pitch. Settling underneath it is Rabin as she makes the easy out. A little bit of pop in that one, but the wind is blowing back in steadily. Second out of the inning. Falk took the first pitch she saw, but unable to give it quite that same kind of pop.
Yeah, the wind definitely not helping any type of power hitters today. They're really going to have to muscle one out to fight the elements here as we see that big flag in dead center blowing.
First baseman Tara Blanco. First pitch to Blanco. That one is up and in as Blanco twists away for a ball.
And this is where the Wolverines have to get better. We've seen the struggles this year. With runners in scoring position, can they finally get them home? We saw them do it against Penn State early on in this Big Ten season. Let's see if they can keep up that success.
1-0 to Blanco. That one catches enough of the plate for a called strike, 1-1. Bit speedier, that pitch there from Weingartner, trying to get out of the inning here. She's got Canfield at second, Vargas at first. The 1-1 to Blanco. That one dipping low and under the zone, an off-speed pitch for a ball, 2-1. The count on Tara Blanco. The average perking up just a little bit, now at 213 on the season, to go along with 16 walks. Pitchers definitely like to dance around the dangerous Blanco a bit more this year than they did last year. The 2-1. Cutting a foul back into the netting. 2-2.
And she's had that slow start this year, and once that bat finally heats up, one would have to assume it's going to heat up with the weather. Once she really starts hitting at the pace we know she can hit at, expect those walk numbers to go way up.
Weingartner getting her signs from Netling. Reddy's with the 2-2. That one off the plate outside and low. Full count on Tara Blanco. Michigan baseball across the diamond at Ray Fisher in a Big Ten game with the Penn State Nittany Lions. They were up 6-2 when I came in here before the game. Cold one at the Wilpon complex, but everything is popping across both diamonds. The payoff pitch to Tara Blanco. That one swing and a foul back over towards the third base side. It'll get out of play over the net to the first row of the bleachers behind the dugout as Blanco stays alive at 3-2.
Tara Blanco, obviously with the count full, you can't watch anything close go by, but she really has to stay disciplined and not chase anything here.
Weingartner not trying to give her anything too over the plate. The 3-2, that one a swing and a chop over towards the infield. A running in play by Marquez as she misses the ball. Coming around to score is Faith Canfield. A misplay from Marquez is going to lead to the first run of the game for the Wolverines as they now have runners at the corners. Tara Blanco slapped that one again right over towards second base. Marquez was playing deep, charged in at it with her glove extended out to the left side. The ball getting by her into right field where it's picked up by Peterson. No play at the plate to be made. The Wolverines take the lead 1-0.
And judging how that ball came off the bat, it was inside on Blanco. She got her hands through quick enough. She might have sliced it and put some wicked English on that to where once it hit the dirt, it might have scooted just far enough away from Marquez to bring that run around home. I mean, unfortunate for the Wildcats, but Michigan will take an RBI hit with 2 outs any day of the week.
Time called. Tara Blanco now putting on a sweatshirt to run on the base paths. That is a testament to the temperature here in Ann Arbor this afternoon. And for a native Californian, it's even worse. Runners still on the corners. Vargas at third and a sweatshirted Blanco now at first. Abby Ramirez at the plate, the Wolverines shortstop, awaiting the first pitch. First pitch is up and away, check swing, appeal down to the third base umpire Aaron Peterson is a no swing, ball 1.
It'll be interesting to see if Hutch implements the double steal here. Tara Blanco, not known for her speed on this team, but anyway, they can scratch a run across. I'm sure they'll take it.
Blanco 1 for 1 on stolen bases. The 1-0. That one low, ball 2.
And
Blanco
now
taking a little bit of a lead there, maybe timing it up a bit. You might not be too far off on the delayed steal option, Kev. Dalton. Kev is working BTN today.
I'm upset.
Sorry. I was with Kevin last night recording the podcast. Saw him before we started the broadcast today. Everything's kind of blurring together on a Friday. The 2-0 pitch. Another one that misses the zone.
Now at 3-0, I expect Hutch, if she had any notion of calling the double steal here, to throw that into the wind that's blowing straight at first base.
Ramirez so far on the season, 356. She has 9 walks, looking to score her 10th here in a 3-0 count. Coming home with it. That one misses low and a 4-pitch walk to Abby Ramirez. Bases are now loaded for the Wolverines with 2 outs in the inning. They're already up 1-0, and that'll bring a circle visit for the Northwestern Wildcats.
And the situation that Weingartner finds herself in is, to understate it, difficult. The 7-hitter of the Wolverines coming up, so traditionally thinking, you'd think, oh, the bottom third of the lineup's coming in. And while it just so happens that Kelly Christner slotted into that 7th spot, and while she's not hitting at that 5.10 rate we saw her a few weeks ago, she's batting a balmy .437. Absolutely crushing it this year. Now with bases loaded, 2 outs, Michigan looking to extend this lead.
Exactly who you want at the plate, and Kelly Christner, 437 on the season, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs, trying to take advantage of a bases-juiced opportunity here in the bottom of the first. Weingartner settles back in. The first pitch to Christner. That one catches the outside part of the plate. A little bit of speed on that one, 0-1. The circle visit was Michelle Gascoigne for the Northwestern Wildcats, recent graduate of Oklahoma. Now an assistant coach with the Wildcat staff with the sisters Drohan. The 0-1. That one swinged out into center field. That one might drop, and it does. Coming around to score is Amanda Vargas, and coming around to score as well as Tara Blanco. 2 more runs for the Wolverines on a looping single into center field for Kelly Christner. Chalk it up as her 25th and 26th RBIs of the season, and the Wolverines now have a 3-1 lead, or 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
And precision beats speed every time, and that hit was precisely in the right spot. And Tara Blanco, having the benefit of being on base with 2 outs, was able to leave at the crack of the bat, allowing her to get second to home on something that was seemingly not more than 100 feet away from the plate.
Now at the plate with runners on first and second, Katie Alexander. First pitch, off speed, looping inside for a called strike. Ramirez is down at second. Christner is at first. Alexander hitting .300 on the season. .296 with runners on, .364 with runners in scoring position. The 0-1. That one swinging a golf down the third base line, hit on a rope, but foul into the side netting. 0-2.
Yeah, not really sure how she pulled that one down the left field line. That one looked low and away, and she just really got down there to go get it.
Went and got it and pulled it that way with the wind blustering over towards the right. Fighting against that hefty current here at Alumni Field this afternoon. Weingartner trying to get out of the inning. The 0-2. That one a swing and looped over to first base, where a catch is made by Novak to end the inning, but not before the Wolverines get off to a hot start, scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball.
And almost the perfect inning for the Wolverines there in terms of trying to fix what has been struggling or plaguing them this season, scoring with runners on base with 2 outs. 2 outs, runners on, no runs. They get back-to-back hits out of, they get hits out of Blanco and Christner, not back-to-back, excuse me. They had the Blanco hit, then the Ramirez walk, then the Christner single for 2 runs, giving them 3 there. And just great hitting out of 2 players that have to go if Michigan wants to succeed this season and make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
As always, we encourage you to interact with us on Twitter at WCBN Sports. Thank you to all of our listeners tuning in on this cold Friday afternoon in Michigan, wherever you may be in the U.S. Hopefully it's warmer than here. Megan Betza back in the circle, warming up here before the top of the second after a strong top of the first. 2 strikeouts already, 7 away from 1,000 career strikeouts. The Wolverines' ace right-hander. The sounds that you're hearing in the background, the Michigan Alumni Band. It is cold for them outside too. Usually somebody that we see much later in the season. Dalton, you got a story later in the broadcast about why the Alumni Band is here today, so stay tuned for that.
That's just called good radio, folks. Teasing it up.
Leaving a little meat on the bone there for our viewers. Wolverines. Lindsey Montemorano jumping around at third base, trying to stay warm, doing some jumping jacks, hopping around at the hot corner. Leading off the inning for Northwestern, the sophomore Morgan Nelson. Batting second will be Anna Peterson, and third, Krista Williams. Nelson playing third today for the Wildcats. First pitch of the inning from Megan Betza. That one low and inside for ball 1. Nelson hitting .244 on the season. Has no extra base hits and no home runs. 17 RBIs. Betza, the 1-0. That one coming just a bit more inside than the last, and still, that's a tough spot today for these pitchers. Naomi Erdahl again not going up with the right hand after another close pitch on the inside portion of the plate, a little bit lower than waist high.
And as we're getting into the top of the second, there's been plenty of pitches and batters to see that pitch on the inside. You will now notice it's up to the pitchers now to hit their spots and can't keep going there expecting to get the strike call.
The 2-0 pitch, a breaking ball, looping inside. Big cut and miss from Nelson. Count now at 2-1. That's looking over to the dugout. Over to her arm specialist, Jennifer Brundage. Readies on the rubber, the 2-1. Swing and a hot shot down the third base line. That one is fair. It's going to scoot out into left field. Picked up by Peters, rounding first hard, but not going is Nelson. That'll be a very hard hit single for Nelson, the leadoff hitter of the inning for Northwestern. They have their first base runner of the game.
And given how defensively stout Monty is, you're almost surprised that that one got through despite it being an absolute heater right down the line.
It would take more than cat-like reflexes to reach down and grab that one. That was one of the hardest hit shots you'll see down the third base line. Leadoff runner on for Northwestern. Anna Peterson at the plate now trying to capitalize, down 3 runs. First pitch from Megan Betts outside for ball 1. Nelson over at first is 7 for 8 this season on stolen bases. See if the Wildcats try and put her in scoring position. The 1-0, swing and a miss, a fastball down low. Evades the bat of Anna Peterson. Count runs even at 1-1.
Peterson, got to be careful with her. She's hit 3 home runs in her last 3 games. The bat, absolutely electric right now.
Trying to bring a runner around here. The 1-1, that one bounces off the bat of Peterson and foul. A check swing, but contact made as it rolls down the first base line. The count now 1-2.
Yeah, Peterson definitely didn't want any part of that pitch as it was coming in for a ball, but reflexes got the better of her, and Megan Betts the beneficiary.
Changing the eye levels on Peterson, maybe trying to put her in an awkward position as she did there. Looking for her 3rd strikeout of the game, the 1-2 pitch from Megan Betts. That one just misses off the outside part of the plate. Held there for an extra beat by Alexander. To no avail. The count now even at 2-2.
And that's about as close as you're going to get to that strike ball line on the black of the plate.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss down in the dirt. That one bounces up. Going down towards second is Nelson. Throw down not in time as she slides in safely. The 3rd strikeout of the game for Megan Betts, and a stolen base for the Wildcats leaves the game at 1 out here in the top of the second with Nelson on second base.
And it looked like there was confusion from Katie Alexander, maybe thinking that ball was tipped into the dirt as she came up a little hesitant to throw.
Krista Williams at the plate now for Northwestern. First pitch, fastball inside low, called strike, 0-1. That's a continuing to roll here. Now just 6 away from 1,000. Williams, the senior, playing left field today. The 0-1, that one chopped over towards Ramirez at short. She makes the throw over to first in time as Blanco on the receiving end for the 2nd out of the inning. Advancing to 3rd on the throw is Nelson.
Nice play there by Abby Ramirez to come up, charge that ball, and let her momentum carry her and the ball towards first bases. Williams awfully speedy down there.
Now stepping up to the plate for the Wildcats, the second baseman, Brooke Marquez, has had a few defensive gaffes early in this game, trying to get something going at the plate. First pitch from Betsa is high above the head of Marquez for a ball. Marquez hitting .247 so far this season. 9 RBIs, not a lot of power in that bat, no extra base hits. She's hitting .286 with runners in scoring position, trying to cut into a 3-run Wolverines lead. The 1-0.
And like
that
you
one
said,
catches the inside part of the plate, called strike.
like you said, JP, she had a couple defensive miscues in the bottom half of that first. She was a little late on getting to first on the Peter single, and then let one get away from her on the Blanco RBI single with 2 outs. That would have got them out of the inning. Now she's trying to make it back up at the plate with 2 outs and a runner on third.
The 1-1 pitch to Marquez. That one a fastball over the plate for a called strike, 1-2. The cold is not affecting the arm of Megan Betza so far. Chugging right along. Trying to put down Northwestern here in the top of the second. Marquez evens that bat up at the plate, the 1-2. That one comes in high over the letters. Evens the count at 2-2.
And now after seeing that high one, Marquez has to be careful here. You just don't know what to expect out of Betza. When she has it going and the confidence is high, she can throw any pitch at any time.
We'll see what she brings here with the 2-2. That one swing and foul back into the netting. Just getting a piece of that one to stay alive is Marquez.
Yeah, I don't think she was quite ready for the gas there. Like you said, just able to foul that away and spoil the strikeout pitch.
See if Betza decides to come back with the gas again here. Reddy's with the 2-2. Swing and a miss down low on the off speed. That one, another strikeout for Megan Betza, her 4th of the game. Ends the top of the second inning. Northwestern threatens but does not score as we head to the bottom of the second. Michigan Wolverines lead this one 3-0 over the Northwestern Wildcats here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball.
That was an absolute beauty of a pitch there.
It stumbled my words up a little bit.
Marquez had no chance at that one. She was way out ahead. The timing was off. It was in the dirt. And that's where Megan Betza is so good. When the heat is going, she can command her off speed to go almost anywhere.
And very sarcastically, the alumni band here, you might be able to hear, playing Walking in a Winter Wonderland out in the right field bleachers. The only thing we're missing is the snow this afternoon. It is supposed to warm up for Saturday and Sunday just a bit.
I don't know what I would do if I saw snow right now, JP.
It would be...
I might lose it.
I would be rather verklempt.
I might just end the broadcast, call it a day.
We would probably call it a day here all around. I'm not trying to play in snow.
Go home, go to bed.
It is an early bedtime, but much deserved after a long week. Got to give credit to these student athletes. We are coming in on finals week here in just a few weeks as well, pushing through towards the finish with a busy schedule ahead on both sides for the Wolverines and for the Wildcats. Leading off the inning for Michigan will be the 9-hitter, Lindsay Montemurano, the third baseman. And then it'll be 1 and 2, Peters and Canfield to finish it off. Back into the circle is Kaylee Weingartner. After giving up 3 in the bottom of the first, trying to have a more efficient bottom of the second as she readies the first pitch here to Montemurano. That one misses low and away in the dirt for ball 1. Monty hitting .270 on the season. That average after a rough opening games series in Florida has definitely come back up to .270. Still no home runs on the season for Monty. The 1-0 off-speed pitch inside for a called strike, 1-1.
And the power outage is a little bit of a concern for Lindsay Montemurano. You'd at least expect her to have at least a couple of home runs at this point, but maybe once the temperature warms up and the balls start leaving the yard a little bit more frequently, maybe she can get in on the home run action.
The 1-1, a called strike over the plate. Right at the letters on Montemurano. Doesn't lift the bat off her shoulder. Count now 1-2. Weingartner looking to her catcher Netling for the sign. She winds with the 1-2. That one low and away, similar to where she put the first pitch of the at-bat. Same result, another ball, 2-2.
And while Monty hasn't been having her best season at the dish early on, she has been finding a number of ways to get on for this Michigan team. She has 14 walks already on the year, and even her elongated at-bats help all the Michigan hitters.
And here comes the start of an elongated at-bat. The 2-2 fouled back over our heads above the press box.
How many 8-9 pitch at-bats have we seen Lindsey Montemurano have this year already?
Over the course of 3 years calling softball here, a lot.
No one does
to
it
give
better.
you a very accurate statistical number, a lot.
Take that to the bank, folks.
2-2 pitch. Swung on into left field, tracking back and now forward was the left fielder Williams, but Panko, the shortstop, ranging back to make the play. Just a bit too much air under that one for Montemurano. First out of the bottom of the second for Northwestern.
She put herself into that 2-strike deficit, and just battling tough, and just got under one. If she barrels that one up, she drives that pretty deep, and the wind definitely not doing any favors, hitting it straight into it.
That'll bring up Natalie Peters, hitting in the one spot for the Wolverines, as has been per usual. The first pitch runs up, swing and a miss. That one away, 0-1.
Peters had that single in the first inning where I think she would have beat it out anyways, but Marquez was a bit slow getting to first. It'll be interesting to see if Peters puts this one right back towards the right side of the infield.
The 0-1 from Weingartner. That one right over towards that right side of the field, but it stays in the air and right into the glove of Novak for a line out. Second out of the inning.
Hit that one too pure, JP.
Just a little bit too perfectly.
Too perfectly on a straight line, but towards the first base.
You got to imagine you need the gloves out there, especially today. That they got to sting if you don't hit them just right off that bat.
Oh, that would be awful. It's cold up here, but I'm certainly glad we're not out there.
You barrel that one up off the aluminum rung. Faith Canfield at the plate now. First pitch, called strike. 0-1. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not still in my Little League days. I remember those cold mornings. Barrel it up the wrong way, you get it off the inside part of the bat, and your hands will ring for a week. The 0-1 to Canfield. Low and away. Ball one. We've seen Weingartner miss in that same spot 3 times already in this inning. Just off the plate, low and away, above the dirt. Continuing to go to that spot. Wolverines not fishing.
And you wonder if at this point it's used maybe to set up other pitches as much to induce a swing and miss.
The 1-1. Swinging a foul back behind home plate. That one skied back out towards the annex area here at the Wilpin Complex Alumni Field. As we mentioned, Michigan baseball across the way. Also active. I'll get you a score update here at the next half inning. Canfield awaiting the 1-2. Swinging that one, shot out into right field. That one's going to get down the line and all the way to the wall as Canfield rounds second. Gathered over in right as she wheels into second base with a stand-up double. 2-out action in the inning for Faith Canfield. And another double for the Wolverines second baseman. That is her 10th of the season.
And that's the type of hitting that coaches absolutely dream about. You take something on the outside, don't try to pull it, especially with this wind blowing into left field. Just take what the pitcher's giving you, take it down that right field line, and now you find yourself on second with 2 outs.
Perhaps a bit of 2-out rally here for Michigan in the bottom of the second with Canfield on second base. Vargas at the plate now. First pitch to Vargas is a ball.
Canfield really aggressive there at second, finding herself
4-step lead.
Yeah, almost halfway to third.
We'll see what she does here. Vargas standing in tall, awaiting the 1-0. Walked in her first at bat. Swing and a miss on a heater over the plate.
I'm not sure.
Just above it.
I'm not sure if that's what Vargas was expecting there. She looked way behind on him.
Yeah. Behind and over top of it. Count even at 1-1. Weingartner again in a bit of a sticky situation as she was in the first. Trying to get out of this one with no damage. The 1-1 fouled back behind home plate. 1-2.
And couple bad swings so far out of Vargas. It didn't even look like she wanted to swing at that one. The feet staying perfectly still, moving just the arms. It almost looked as if she was just trying to battle that one off, even though she only had one strike on her.
The 1-2 from Weingartner. That one bounces up into the dirt, into the catching gear, and now Canfield caught in a little bit of a pickle. She slides into third base safe. That was poor base running to start it off. Northwestern had her played out with the throw down to second, but the second that ball left the hand of the catcher Netling down to second, she took off for third, sliding in and avoiding the tag of Nelson. And the Wolverines advancing Canfield to third base.
Yet Netling,
now just a jot from home.
Netling getting a little greedy there with 2 strikes on the batter. You almost just want to throw that down to third, run Canfield back to second, but now Canfield 60 feet closer.
2-2 pitch for Vargas, fouled back behind home plate again. Staying alive, trying to bring Canfield home now.
Yeah, just not sure why Netling would throw that down to second.
Still trying to get out of a jam is Weingartner. The 2-2 pitch to Vargas. That one a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Perfect location. Down goes Vargas, and the Wolverines threaten but do not score. We head to the top of the third. Michigan leading this one 3-0 on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball.
And Hutch having a few maybe choice words with home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl. No one's been getting that call all day, then all of a sudden Amanda Vargas gets rung up and run out of there on the inside black. It was a strike, but I think Hutch had legitimate beef there with that call not going either way for either team.
Megan Betza back out, warming up in the circle. Dalton, seems like a good time to maybe share that story about the alumni band out in right field. Tell us what you know about why they're here on this blisteringly cold afternoon.
From a reliable source, it's been relayed to me that years back when Michigan hosted Northwestern in an NCAA regional game, the alumni band showed up and played, and after Michigan won, the Northwestern coaching staff filed a grievance with the NCAA stating that the alumni band was an unfair home field advantage for the Wolverines. And now the dedicated members of the alumni band make it a special point to show out to Alumni Field whenever Northwestern makes the trip north.
That story coming from a dedicated WCBN Sports softball fan, Aaron Ranville, Dalton's boss.
Or as the great people of Twitter know her, the Tree City Knitter.
We appreciate our eclectic fan base as always. Thank you for tuning in on WCBN Student Sports Radio. Starting off the inning for Northwestern will be number 9, the first baseman Lily Novak. Batting second, the 9-hitter Sammy Netling behind the plate today. And rounding it out, the 1-hitter, the center fielder Sabrina Rabin. The first pitch to Lily Novak, a ball that pops out of the glove of Alexander.
And maybe if Alexander holds on to that one, she might get the strike call there.
Got to imagine it's a little hard to squeeze the glove still in the cold today. Trying to stay warm as best as possible are all of these players. The 1-0, that one chopped over to Monty at third, ranging over across her body. A strong throw over to Blanco at first for the first out of the inning.
And as JP called that so flawlessly, don't get it twisted, that was a pretty difficult play for Monty to make as she was ranging to her left. That ball had a bit of backspin on it, and she almost overran it. Did a nice job getting her mitt behind her, gathering herself and firing down to first.
An adept recap of that play. Sammy Netling now at the plate. First pitch from Megan Betza. Off-speed pitch over the heart of the plate for a called strike, 0-1.
And this is where, we see Megan Betza doing some miniature jumping jacks at the top of the circle, maybe trying to stay warm.
I got to start doing a few of those in here, too. The 0-1. That one inside, catches enough of the plate for a called strike, just below the letters 0-2 on Sammy Netling, the junior catcher for the Wildcats. Betza looking for the put away, the 0-2. Swing and a miss down in the dirt. Down goes Netling. Another strikeout for Megan Betza, her 5th of the day. A fistful of Ks And she's now 4 away from 1,000.
You love it.
Yeah, who doesn't love it?
I'll
tell you who doesn't, Northwestern.
But this is where Megan Betts is so good. The bottom parts of lineups where other pitchers will sometimes struggle and allow those runners to get on where it turns over to the top and you have your better hitters come up. Megan Betts, she just doesn't mess with any of that.
Top of the lineup, Sabrina Rabin. A bunt chopped down over right in front of the catcher. A close play at first. An adept play by Monty and a strong throw, but beating it out by a step is Rabin. A 2-out bunt single for the Wildcats, and the speedy Rabin getting on base, extending this inning just a bit longer with 2 outs now and a runner on.
Yeah, just an instance where good offense beat good defense, played perfectly there by the Michigan infield and particularly Monty, but the speed just too much.
Marissa Panko at the plate. Stealing second is Rabin. Throw not in time from Alexander. Does not have quite the same arm strength behind the plate as Alex Subcheck. Alexander, though, with the duties behind the plate today, and Rabin now down in scoring position at second base.
And now Michigan has to be careful with a speedy Rabin at second. Panko, over her last 12 games, is batting over 500. So she's been on an absolute tear, and even though she's 0 for 1 today, she may be due.
Struck out looking in her first at-bat. The 0-1. Swinging a foul back behind the plate. 0-2 the count now on Panko.
And with a runner on second, I don't expect Megan Betts to mess around here and maybe allow something to get away from Alexander and get that runner to third. I expect her to go straight after Panko at the plate.
And as you said, Panko is hitting .337 now on the season, but has been on a recent tear. She isn't chopped liver, and Panko ain't breadcrumbs either. The 0-2 pitch, that one high above the head. 1-2.
God, I can't. Oh, I can't.
It was there.
It was there. It was there. You know what? I'll give it to you. That. Oh goodness.
Nothing better than a little panko crusted chicken.
I'll agree with that.
I'd have some. Oh, I can. It's Friday. 1-2. That one chopped over towards second base. Play made by Canfield. Toss over to first will end the inning. Northwestern puts one on base but does not score. We head to the middle of the third, with Michigan leading this one still 3-0 on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball.
Canfield flashing the leather a little bit, electing to go backhand there at second base. So sure in her skills. If you can get the out and still put on a little show for the fans, why not?
Michigan baseball across the ways in the top of the 8th inning against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Michigan baseball ranked 22nd in the country right now, up 10-4 on the team from State College, PA. A lot of good ball to be played at both yards here at the Wilpon Complex. Throughout the rest of this season, Michigan baseball looking a formidable opponent for anyone at this point, and Michigan softball hitting their stride. They're on a 9-game win streak coming into this game, and with a 3-0 lead, they are poised to make it double digits.
And I'm sure Michigan, despite a fruitless second inning, would like to get out there and maybe extend this lead closer to that 8-run mercy limit. I'm sure they, as well as the fans, want to get out of here as soon as possible. Not for the fact that they don't want to watch some Michigan softball, but for the fact that Mother Nature is still giving us the cold shoulder as we creep our way into April.
The final pitch thrown by Weingartner as she's back into the circle again. Leading off the inning for the Wolverines will be Aiden Falk, then Tara Blanco and Abby Ramirez here in the bottom of the third. Weingartner on the rubber now. Ready for the first pitch of the bottom of the third to Falk. That one outside. A fastball catches enough of the plate for it, called strike 0-1. Falk hit the first pitch that she saw in her first at bat and flied out to center field. Trying to remain a bit more patient at the plate. Fly out to center, but definitely made some good contact on it. The 0-1. That one a called strike, up and outside a bit of the zone, but home plate umpire Naomi Erdahl up with the right hand 0-2.
Yeah, like you said, she put a drive into it, but battling that wind here is not a fight you're going to win often.
I have put my hands under the table now here, the wind blowing in. It's a wee bit chilly. The 0-2 pitch to Aiden Falk. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches and down on strikes
and it looked
to
like,
start the inning.
It looked like Falk started to swing as soon as that one left the hand of Weingartner. Falk maybe tried holding up in the middle of her swing as that pitch was high and outside. Certainly would have been a ball, but the decision was already made. Now Falk will find a spot in the warm dugout.
Second strikeout of the game for Weingartner, and that'll bring Tara Blanco to the plate for the Wolverines. First pitch to Blanco. Away, outside, ball 1.
Blanco had that clutch hit with 2 outs in the first to drive in the first run of this game, as she had that one that skirted past Marquez at second.
The 1-0 to Blanco. She is pegged in the back, right on the numbers. And in the cold, that one will sting a little bit more, but seems unfazed as she trots down to first. That one hit her right in the 2 on her back.
Do not envy her right now, I can tell you that.
She seems okay. I would expect the sweatshirt to come out again that we saw the first time she got on base, or a pinch runner. And it looks like it may be a pinch running situation as Blanco heads back to the dugout, and out to run for her will be Nikki Wald.
Nikki Wald almost strictly pinch running duties for these Wolverines, but she's so good at them.
And if you can hear it on the natural sounds, Gasolina, and that is indicative of Abby Ramirez getting ready to step to the plate. So Wald is on first with 1 out in the inning, and Abby Ramirez, the lefty, stepping in. Ramirez hitting .356. She walked in her first at bat in this game. Wolverines looking to continue off of that hit by pitch. First pitch to Ramirez. That one a shot over into left. That gets over the head of Williams all the way back to the 200 on the wall. Rounding third and headed for home is Wald. Holding up at second is Ramirez. Wald will score, and the Wolverines go up 4-0 on the bat of Abby Ramirez. They were shaded well in on Ramirez, not known very much for her power, but that one getting over the extended glove and head of Krista Williams in left.
And through the wind, too, nonetheless.
As the wind was pushing it back towards the right, it stayed in play, well in play, and back over towards the 200 mark at the foul line down the third base side. And the Wolverines add on to their lead. It's now 4-0 with Ramirez on second. Kelly Christner at the plate looking to keep it going. First pitch to Christner. That one is low and away for a ball. That one will be a double for Abby Ramirez. Speedy.
And now Christner with a runner on second looking to tack on another RBI to her 2 RBI day already.
Christner levels at bat, timing it up, the 1-0. That one just missing off the outside part of the plate. Thought there might be a delayed strike call from Naomi Erdahl. It was held there for an extra beat by Netling, but the count is now 2-0. Ramirez has base pads as well. 11 for 13 in stolen bags on the season. The 2-0. That one is low at the shins. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes on Kelly Christner. Weingartner not trying to give Christner anything to hit here, but putting Christner on just keeps this inning going and makes these Wolverines hitters that much more dangerous.
No, and with first base open, I'm sure you'd much rather face Katie Alexander than Kelly Christner, who's batting 150 points higher.
The 3-0, that one misses low. Off-speed pitch and a 4-pitch walk to Kelly Christner. Wolverines with runners on first and second now, with Katie Alexander coming to the plate. And Kate Drohan, the coach for the Wildcats, coming out to have a conversation with Naomi Erdahl. Maybe she is taking exception to some of the location of these pitches. Not quite sure what the conversation's about right now. It doesn't seem to be a pitching change or anything of the sort. The lineup card is still in pocket.
And it looked like Carol was going absolutely wild in that Northwestern dugout. She might be more upset with the pitch calls than Kate, but they send out Kate Drohal to maybe the cooler head there to have the
She was
conversation.
about to turn away, and now she's back. And I think it just has to be balls and strikes at this point, the way that she's arguing. But back to the dugout now. Seemed her team was a half step away on the steps, ready to come up and get her. But she is back now on the steps. Play is back underway. Alexander stepping to the plate. Netling setting in her catching position. And now the first pitch to Alexander from Weingarten. That one misses low for ball one. Like to see how these calls go now after the complaints here from Drohan. And now she's going to head out to the circle, and maybe we will see a pitching change here for Northwestern.
I haven't seen anybody.
Don't see anybody warming up, so I'm thinking it might just be a circle meeting. But before it was Gascon who came out to talk with Weingartner, and now it seems like the head coach coming back out. Should be underway again here. Quick circle meeting.
Oh, and it looks like there was someone warming up on that other side of the left field wall. We'll get a number for you as soon as we can.
The jacket going back on for whoever that may be. She's watching through the window down the third base side. Count is 1-0 on Alexander. Runners on first and second for the Wolverines, up 4-0. The 1-0 swing foul down the first base line and out of play. And now whoever was warming up, that tandem is headed back to the Northwestern dugout. Trying to get a number on them. Northwestern in their all-black uniforms today with the dark purple numbers. A bit hard to read here.
If I had to speculate, I'd say that was Kenzie Ellis.
She is the designated player today, but she is also a pitcher for Northwestern. The 1-1 to Alexander, that one a swing. Golfed into right field. Ranging over is Peterson. Underneath it to make the grab. Tagging up and headed to third is Ramirez. She will slide in safely. The throw off target. Wolverines now have runners at the corners and 2 outs. And that'll bring up Lindsay Montemurano.
And now we may see that double steal come in as Christner, who has a little bit of speed on first. Ramirez, you know the speed that she possesses there on at third, so time for that coaching chess match that Hutch seems to win.
Monty at the plate now. The first pitch from Weingartner. Swing and a miss. That an ugly throw down in the dirt. Throw down to second. Christner was trying to steal. It's over the head of the shortstop, Panko, and into center field. That will allow Abby Ramirez to score. A huge defensive miscue for the Northwestern Wildcats will give the Wolverines another run here in the bottom of the third, and now a 5-0 lead for Michigan.
And Christner looked like she was putting on the brakes as that ball was coming towards second, but once she noticed it was way over the head of any infielder, she almost walked in there.
The 0-1 pitch to Montemurano. Perhaps she swung at that one to maybe give a bit more time to Christner, who then froze up midway on the base pads. Should have been caught in a pickle with the throw down to second, but just a poor throw from Netling as it soared into center, and the Wolverines adding it on here. The 1-1 pitch. That one a hot shot down the third base side. That's going to drop. Coming around third and scoring is Christner. Montemurano in at first. Another run for the Wolverines, make it 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. Lindsay Montemurano had a hot shot get under her glove at third base earlier in this game. She just returned the favor and tacked on an RBI with it. Michigan, another 3-spot here in the inning. And how about that for some 2-out offense?
And Lindsay Montemurano needed it. Boost her average up to 277 on the year, and only her second hit in Big Ten play, but timely hitting beats hitting for average every day of the week, and what a timely hit there by Lindsay Montemurano.
The one-hitter, Natalie Peters, back to the plate now for the Wolverines. First pitch to Peters is up and away for a ball. Monty did just rip that one down the third base line. Good stuff from the Wolverines hitters here in the bottom of the third as they continue to roll against Northwestern. Weingarner still in this game. The 1-0 fouled over the third base side above the Northwestern dugout.
And Peters has went to that right side of the infield twice now, but with Monty on first, it'll be interesting to see if she tries something down that third baseline, as it looks like Nelson is playing awfully far off for the speedy slap hitting Peters.
See how Peters decides to try and play it here. Weingarner just trying to get back to her own dugout. The 1-1 pitch. That one misses again off the plate. The fastball no good, 2-1. Weingarner continues to struggle now. She came into this one with a 2.10 ERA. The Wolverines have already bumped that up to 2.79. Again, she had only thrown 40 innings coming into this one, so all of these hits damaging that average a lot more. Montemurano trying to steal on the play. She's going to be out by a country mile. A poor jump off of first will end the inning early as Montemurano heads back to the dugout. Coach Carol Hutchins will probably have a word with her about that steal, but nonetheless, we head to the top of the fourth. The Wolverines put up 3 in the bottom of the third and lead this one 6-0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Jeremy Parks, Dalton Pataki alongside me for this one at Alumni Field. Thank you so much for tuning in with us.
And it looked like a straight steal there out of Monty. Like you said, she just got a bad jump, and maybe not the worst way to end the inning is now Peters will get a fresh at-bat in the top of that lineup to push across 2 more. Right now we're going to the top of the fourth. Michigan definitely looking to get 2 more to end this one in 5 innings and get out of this cold weather and get ready for tomorrow's tilt as they take on Northwestern once again. You can hear that call right here on WCBN Sports. Who's on the call tomorrow?
I believe it's you again, and Emily Herrard, I believe.
What a combo. Me and Emily, more known for our women's basketball
I'll be across the yard at baseball tomorrow and Sunday. Michigan baseball 3 outs away from another win. They're up 10-4 on Penn State in the top of the 9th. Just about to get underway in that one. We'll let you know when it goes final. And meanwhile, here at Alumni, Megan Betza ready to start the top of the 4th here as she settles back into the circle.
And right on cue, like we saw in Mount Pleasant when Michigan took on Central Michigan, Natalie Peters moving back to right, and Courtney Richardson finding herself in left field after 2 Faith Canfield at-bats.
It'll be Ellis, Nelson, and Peterson. Sounds like a law firm hitting for Northwestern here in the top of the 4th.
That was pretty good. I like that.
I like it. I would buy a lawyer from there. I would buy law at Ellis, Nelson, Peterson. That's doing some high knee steps in the circle, trying to stay warm.
It looks like her first baseman, Tara Blanco, also jumping around trying to stay warm in this sub-40-degree temperature.
First pitch of the 4th inning to Kenzie Ellis. A big cut and a miss. Betza brought the heat.
Kenzie Ellis maybe trying to hit a 6-run home run there and even this one up, but couldn't connect.
A lot of these Wolverines players continuing to jump and move around. Natives of much warmer climates. Betza in the circle, a Georgia girl. 0-1 to Ellis. That one high above the letters. Evens the count at 1-1. A lot of California representation out on that field right now as well. Can only imagine. Right now, I'd like to go online, check the temperature in Cali. Gonna guess it's somewhere around 75. The 1-1. That one just misses off the outside part of the plate. 2-1. The fans here at Alumni, who have come out in fairly decent numbers for a chilly Friday afternoon, displeased with that call. Dalton looking it up. Long Beach right now, 68 degrees. A far cry from Ann Arbor.
68 and sunny, I may add.
And sunny. The 2-1 to Ellis. That one's in there for a strike. 2-2 on the sophomore designated player who was warming up out beyond the left field wall last inning as a pitcher. She is capable of getting into the circle if Weingarner leaves this game. The 2-2, a big cut and a big miss off the outside part of the plate. Another strikeout for Megan Betza. Make it 6, and now just 3 away from history.
And Megan Betza, we've seen that pitch already to put away a Northwestern batter, low and away in the dirt, get them off speed, and it's just a thing of beauty. And you don't know when it's coming, you don't know where it's coming, but when it comes, you know it.
That'll bring Morgan Nelson to the plate. Had a single in her first at bat. First pitch. That one misses low for ball one. As we said, Megan Betza now just 3 strikeouts away from 1,000 in her career. 6 today will put her at 208 on the season here. A pace that cannot be matched. The 1-0 to Nelson. That one misses low. Over the plate, though. Ball 2.
Nelson had that hard hit single down the left field line that scooted under the glove of Lindsay Montemarano. I'm sure Megan Betza wants to get a little revenge here.
Count is 2-0 on Morgan Nelson. Averages up to 253 on the season. The 2-0, that one swung on, fouled back into the netting. 2-1. Betza keeping her hand in her back pocket as she looks over to Jennifer Brundage for the sign. That Wolverines dugout on the first base side. Looks down towards Alexander. Readies with the 2-1. That one comes in there with emphasis over the heart of the plate. 2-2. Nelson. Watch that one go by.
You might have been able to pick up Monty on our nap mic screaming nice pitches. She is the heart and soul of this team, the most emotional one out there.
The 2-2. That one's just going to miss on the outside edge. Another close call. You know, I normally say held there for an extra beat. Alexander had that there for an extra 3 beats. No call from Naomi Erdahl behind the plate.
Looks like maybe Brundage came out of her crouch of calling pitches to have a few words with.
It was a close one.
Naomi Erdahl, that's maybe the closest one we've seen today.
Payoff pitch from Megan Betza to Nelson. That one is swung on foul, just caught by the top of the netting there. Down this first base side, 3-2 still.
If not for that, Nat, we may have had a souvenir.
I got my one souvenir of my career at Penn State last season. I will count that as the only thing I ever need. I will never hunt for a foul ball again. It landed right in my lap.
That's about all the work I want to put in, too.
Another payoff pitch to Nelson. Swing and a miss down in the dirt.
Goodness.
Megan Betza forgot to put it in the laundry. It's been filthy this game. Another strikeout. Second out of the inning. She's got one for you for each day of the week. 7 Ks on the day.
It's absolutely ridiculous what she does to opposing batters on an outing basis. Double-digit strikeouts is the average, is the expectation for Megan Betza.
If people ask what we do, normally we'd say call softball, but I would just say talk about Megan Betza for 3 hours. Anna Peterson at the plate. First pitch to Peterson. Strike 1. Peterson struck out in the second inning, trying to avoid a similar fate. Betza with 7 Ks on the day. 998 career strikeouts. The 0-1. Swing and a miss down low again. Peterson looking the fool. Trying to catch up with that. And dipping down, pulling the string. 0-2.
And you can see 999 on the horizon for Megan Betza.
Sounds like the Herman Cain plan. Becking back to the 2012 presidential campaign. The 999 plan. The 0-2 to Peterson. Called strike 3. On the inside part of the plate, that's number 8 on the day, and now 1 away from 1,000. That'll end the top of the 4th. Megan Betza is hot. White hot, we should say. Headed to the bottom of the 4th, the Wolverines lead this one 6-0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball.
And what's crazy is you talk about how well Megan Betza pitches. This is expected of Megan Betza. Hutch has been so spoiled to have such a great pitcher in Megan Betza. I mean, Hutch brought her in, absolutely great recruit, but I mean, you just couldn't have imagined she would be this good.
I'm glad she got 999 to end the top of the 4th, because that gives me a whole half inning to think of things to say for 1,000.
JP, I would be lying if I didn't expect something absolutely spectacular out of your mouth.
I don't want to hype it up too much and then have it fall flat. Kind of like that Avatar movie, that James Cameron movie. No good. A lot of talk,
It was
big
okay.
old budget.
It was okay.
A couple $1 billion down the drain for 3 hours of me thinking, why am I watching a blue alien?
All right, it wasn't the worst movie in the world.
Yeah, just overhyped. Unlike the call that I hopefully get to make in the top of the 5th inning. Nonetheless, Michigan.
I'm sure the
Getting
goal
ready.
here for Michigan in this inning to get things back on track is to scratch across a couple runs, get to that 8-run limit, and let Megan Betsy get out there, do her thing, and then Michigan can go home early, get home, maybe have a warm bowl of soup, maybe a hot chocolate or
Oh,
two.
man, that sounds real good.
Oh, I know it. I know what I'm having for dinner.
Uno dos tres for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 4th. Peters, Canfield, Vargas. Peters was at the plate to end the bottom of the 3rd, but they caught Monty stealing to end it. So she'll get a fresh set here to open up the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch fouled back behind the plate, tapped just in front of the plate. A lot of English on it as it goes back in towards the netting. Weingartner still in the game for Northwestern. She's had a rough go of it so far. 6 runs, all of them earned. Wolverines 6 hits as well. Northwestern defensively has an error against their credit as well. The 0-1 to Peters. That one a slap into left center field. That gets down between Williams and Rabin all the way back to the wall, and rounding first into second, standing up is Peters. A leadoff double for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 4th.
And the slap hitters flashing a little bit of power today. We saw Vargas go down the left field line, and Natalie Peters says, hey, I got a little pop in my bat too. I'm going to put this in the power alley.
So Ramirez put it over the head of Williams as well earlier in left. Mighty might here on a Friday afternoon in Ann Arbor. The lights are on now, down on the field, have been on in this dark afternoon sky.
We are going to have that pitching change that we forecasted a little bit earlier, and it does look like it is Kenzie Ellis. She's going to come in 2.68 ERA, 3-6 on the year. Has started 10 games but appeared in 18, 2 saves to her name.
Yep, leadoff double is going to do it for Weingartner. We'll get you her final line as soon as Peters either scores or is out. That is her last responsibility on the base paths. Little Blues Brothers coming from the alumni band out in right field. Dalton, if you are Ellis in the circle and you've been in the dugout as a designated player so far this game, watching Weingartner struggle against these hitters, what are you going to do differently here to try and make a little bit more of an impact?
It's tough because Weingartner, to attack this Michigan lineup who's seemingly across the board hitting above 300, team average well above 300, you have to pitch to contact and hope Michigan has an off day. And Weingartner did a nice job of that, not giving up many walks. Only 3 on the day, but you just have to hope Michigan hits it at your players.
Faith Canfield at the plate. First pitch to Canfield. She hits that one high and deep, but foul down the third base line. She got all of that one. 0-1 though.
That might change the way you pitch this at bat to Canfield if you're Alice. I mean, she drove that one way deep down left field, right into that wind, having no remorse for Mother Nature.
The 0-1 pitch to Canfield from Ellis. That one is away and outside. Ball 1. Keep in mind, Peters is standing on second base with none out in the inning. Canfield so far today, fielder's choice in her first at bat and a double in her last at bat. The 1-1, that one is in play, bounces over the head of the third baseman Nelson, rounding third, headed for home is Peters. She is in, standing up safely, and at first is Faith Canfield. Another hit on the game. That one just a high chopper that got over the short stature of Nelson at third and into left field. Another Wolverines run. They've got a run for every day of the week for you. 7-0 here at Alumni Field.
But now the most important run of the day, sitting at first, Faith Canfield. And I'm sure all strategy and resources will be directing to get Canfield across home, as I'm sure Michigan wants to get out of here early.
Still no outs in the inning. Vargas at the plate now. Trying to keep up with her pace. She walked in her first at bat. She struck at bat. Trying to put something in play here, put a hit in her column on the day. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch just catches the outside part of the plate with the fastball, 1-1.
It looks like they're going to let Amanda Vargas swing away up there. Thinking maybe Nelson playing a little bit behind the bag at third. There might be something down that third base line.
The 1-1, an uncomfortable swing. Brings that bat across the plate at a poor pitch, low in the dirt, but a called strike, 1-2.
And Vargas knew it. She just couldn't hold up.
Michigan baseball across the yard just went final, 6-10 over the Penn State Nittany Lions, a win for the Maize and Blue. The 1-2 pitch to Vargas, and she heads down to first.
It might have hit her.
I think that might have gotten a little piece of Vargas. It must have.
I can't think of another reason as they'd send her down to first on a 1-2 count. Might have got her toe.
It was very light touch, if anything. But that's going to put runners on first and second now for the Wolverines. We'll let you know the official score on that play as Vargas is now down at first. Canfield advances to second.
It is being ruled as Vargas being hit by the pitch.
First pitch to Courtney Richardson in now for the Wolverines. She swings and fouls it back behind home plate. Pinch hitting here for Aiden Falk. Richardson seeing her first action of the game, hitting .239 on the season. The 0-1, big cut, big miss. Way out in front of that one, 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like Richardson was expecting a little bit of heat there, but Alice doing a nice job mixing up her pitches, going off speed, getting Richardson out on that front foot and swinging ahead and over top.
Ellis trying to get the first out of the inning. The 0-2 to Richardson. That one's swinging a shot into left field. That's going to bounce in front of the feet of Krista Williams and down. Nobody will score on the play, but the bases will be juiced on a hard shot single into left for the pinch hitter Richardson, and now Michigan poised to score that 8th run and maybe more. 7-0 here against Northwestern.
And great job by Richardson. 0-2, took a put away pitch and put it into left field, but that one maybe hit too hard to score a run.
Bounced right in front of the feet of Williams into her glove. Not enough time for Canfield to round third and come home. Canfield at third, Vargas at second, Richardson at first, and Tara Blanco at the plate for the Wolverines. The first pitch to Blanco is up at the letters for ball 1. That wind is steadily still blowing back in from center field and out to the right. The 1-0 pitch to Blanco. That one low and away outside for ball 2.
And with no one to put her, or nowhere to put her, Blanco should expect a good ball to hit, at least soon, as she finds herself ahead 2-0.
2-0 pitch from Ellis. That one swung on and fouled back behind home plate, 2-1. Michigan leading this one 7-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Trying to score that 8th run so they can end this one with their next 3 outs in the 5th. They have the bases loaded with none out. The 2-1 pitch to Blanco. That one catches the outside part of the plate on an off-speed pitch. Evens the count at 2-2. Well put by Ellis.
Good job by Ellis battling back here. It was definitely in a tough spot, but now in the driver's seat.
Has room to work with 2-2. Can maybe try and get Blanco to fish at something. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back behind home plate. Good job to get a piece of it by Blanco on a well-placed pitch by Ellis.
Tried to gas one there right by Blanco, but Blanco too good and too seasoned of a hitter to get put away on a fastball in the zone.
Blanco takes a step out, back in. Ellis looks down, gets her sign from Netling. The 2-2. Swung on and again fouled back, this time over our heads in the press box on the first base side. Continuing to stay alive, and now an extended at bat, 2-2.
And we seemingly ran out of softballs here at Alumni Field.
There's a reason they take them back when you foul it off.
Aaron all had to run over to that Michigan dugout. And
a pricey commodity.
And to think you got one at Penn State.
2-2 pitch to Blanco. That one is an off-speed pitch that misses outside and a bit high. 3-2 now on Tara Blanco. Nowhere to put her. Bases are loaded, none out for the Wolverines. And Kenzie Ellis is staring down Tara Blanco, readying her payoff pitch. The 3-2. That one a swing down towards the left field line. Charging in from left is Williams, and she will make the play. Throw over to second. They tag out Vargas. That is not head-up base running from the Wolverines. It was a hard-hit shot that almost dropped into left field. Good charge by Williams to make the grab, and then an even more heads-up play to make the throw over to second. The shortstop, Panko, covering the bag, and Vargas didn't get back in time, and that's a tag-out, and the Wolverines go from bases loaded with none out to runners at the corners and 2 out.
Oh, and I do not want to be Faith Canfield right now. She's getting an earful from the base running error of Amanda Vargas.
Hutch just trying to make sure that Canfield knows what to do now here in a 2-out situation on third. Richardson still on first. Ramirez at the plate now. The first pitch inside for ball 1. That was a well-hit ball by Blanco, but just a bit too much under it and enough time for Williams to charge in and make the play.
Could be a costly error for these Wolverines if they don't get one across here.
Still leading 7-0. The 1-0 pitch to Ramirez. Same spot inside again, missing 2-0. Another fastball, another miss for Ellis. Ramirez with a shorter stature, harder to bring it a bit high. The 2-0. That one bounces in the dirt. Good block there by Netling. Threatening to go down to second was Richardson. She slides back, gets a little dirt on that jersey into first base. Count now 3-0 on Ramirez. There is room to put her. It would advance Richardson down to second. The 3-0. That's a called strike over the heart of the plate. Good comeback pitch there from Ellis. The bat was never going to leave Ramirez's shoulder. 3-1.
And they're definitely not giving Ramirez anything to hit, and it's pick your poison at this point, Ramirez or Christner, and it'll be interesting to see.
3-1 pitch. That's a slap shot. That gets off the glove of Nelson at third. Coming around to score is Canfield. And that one hit on a rope. Unable to make the play is Nelson on a hard hit shot. It'll bounce into left field for Williams to gather as Ramirez heads down to first, Richardson down to second, and the Wolverines now lead by 8. 8-0.
And another piece of clutch hitting by the Michigan Wolverines.
And another difficult play defensively for Northwestern, just unable to come up with that one. It would have been very impressive had Nelson been able to gather and make the play. Canfield was going home on contact, and she makes it. Christner at the plate now. First pitch, off speed, over the plate, called strike, 0-1. Runners at first and second. Michigan not content with 8-0. They'll continue to attempt and extend the lead here. 10 hits on the day for the Maize and Blue. The 0-1 pitch, that one misses low for ball 1.
Christner 1-for-1 on the day, had that 2 RBI single in the first inning and then a walk in the third.
1-1, that's a slap shot into left center field. That one's going to get down. Rounding third is Richardson. Rounding third is Ramirez. That's going to be a 2-run double into left center field for Kelly Christner. And the Wolverines now lead it by double digits, 10-0. And they're slapping this Northwestern team all over the place here on a Friday afternoon.
And right now, this is when Michigan is most dangerous. You saw they were maybe early in the year when things weren't going their way. They were playing tense. Now they've entered Big Ten play. They dominated Penn State. They went to Central. They got a win there. They're playing loose. They're having fun. And next thing you know, they're pounding Northwestern here today and looking to get another 3-game sweep. And it's when the team is getting the 2-out hits, that's what makes this team so fun to watch. And that's what's built up this big fan base, is they just seem to know how to win.
Katie Alexander at the plate now for the Wolverines. No hits on the day so far. The first pitch to Alexander, that one is outside high for ball 1. Had a pop out to first in her first at bat, and had a fly out to right in her last.
And it's nice to get a couple insurance runs. Not sure if Megan Betza will need them at this point, but
the 1-0 is in the dirt, dribbling back, and Christner almost caught a little bit off guard as she slides back in. A throw down, bounces off of her arm, but she is back in time. 2-0 the count on Alexander. These Michigan base runners, that's another instance right there where maybe just a little bit sleepy on the base paths today. No damage done, though, as Christner is safe at second. 2-0. That ball misses low. Count now 3-0 on Katie Alexander. Hitting .288 now on the season. Has 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. 6 RBIs in total, trying to get a 7th here and bring Christner around for the 11th run. The 3-0 misses outside. 4-pitch walk for Alexander as she trots down to first. And I think we're going to see a pinch hit here for the Wolverines. Taylor Swearingen is going to come in to hit for Lindsay Montemurano in the 9 spot. The number not super visible with her hair, but the hair is how I always tell
looks like
Taylor
it's
Swearingen.
23, yep.
Yep. The long blonde waves. The tall, lanky stature as she comes in as a pinch hitter with runners on first and second. Michigan leading 10-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They've already scored 4 in this frame. And now Swearingen will face Ellis. First pitch. Off the plate and away for ball 1. And Ellis really struggling with her control at this point.
And down 10-0 with 2 outs on the board. She just has to put something over the plate and hope these Michigan hitters, like I said earlier, you got to pitch to contact at this point.
1-0 pitch to Taylor Swearingen. She was out in front of that one by a mile. Big cut and a miss, 1-1. Probably expecting a heater there, but got a little bit more off speed as that one fell down to the lower part of the zone and reaching out in front on an early cut. Ellis looks down to Netling. The 1-1. That one's going to miss off the plate outside again, 2-1. Almost like there's a magnet on that outside part of the plate right now for Kenzie Ellis. That arm seems a bit loose. Trying to bring it in tight, the 2-1. Another big cut and a miss from Swearingen. Unable to make contact so far here, 2-2 the count. If you're Ellis, you know that she's been out in front on 2 swings in this at bat. Maybe try and bring back the off speed again. Try and draw another bad swing. She has a pitch to work with in a 2-2 count. And another swing and a miss does just that. Taylor Swearingen down on 3 cuts there. And that'll end the inning. The Wolverines put up 4 in the bottom of the 4th. They lead this one by a score of 10-0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Jeremy Parks, Dalton Pataki by my side. Northwestern now down to their last 3 outs here against Megan Betza.
Well, as they like to say around 2 a.m. in Ann Arbor, it's last call. And
trying to pick up another win here in Big Ten play are the Wolverines. They're 3-0 so far, looking to go 4-0 in the opener of a 3-game set here at Alumni Field this weekend against the Northwestern Wildcats.
And it's the moment everyone here's been waiting for. Megan Betza has 8 strikeouts on the day. She's at 999 for her career. Michigan well in place to get a mercy victory, send the fans home happy and out of the cold. So
that's still warming up in the circle.
Despite a 10-0 lead here, big inning for Michigan softball in the grand scheme of things.
Back in her catcher's gear, Alexander is out now to take the warm-up pitches from Megan Betza.
It looks like Swearingen will actually also be a defensive replacement.
Wasn't sure if she was just warming it up out there, but it looks like she will come in to play third base here. Stepping in for Lindsay Montemorano at the plate and in the field. Number 23 at the hot corner now. Don't see any other defensive adjustments here for the Wolverines, just the one. Leading off the inning for Northwestern will be number 23, Krista Williams, followed by Marquez and Novak. That's Ready's the first pitch of the 5th inning. Inside part of the plate, catches the black, called strike. 0-1 the count on Williams. Looking in towards Alexander, Ready's with the 0-1. And that one catches the outside part of the plate. Little inside-outside action. No swings from Williams. 0-2 the count. Dalton, you're just going to let me have this one. 0-2.
That's what's great about the game of baseball and softball. You let it call itself.
That's a winds and Ready's to Williams. The pitch. That one high and outside. Appeal down to third base. That would have been anticlimactic had it been a called strike. And it is! Oh, boy!
You missed it.
Oh, talk about terrible. Oh, no! Strikeout 1000 is about the least electric thing you'll ever see. A check swing on a terrible garbage pitch in the upper outside area.
You were hoping it would be one of those radical change up, blowing away, get the swing and the miss in the dirt.
Swing. Oh, man. Marquez at the plate. First pitch is a strike.
Have you ever been more upset at seeing a career record?
I'm going to go home, and I don't think I'm going to be able to look at myself in the mirror tonight after that. I'm going to have to wait for another 1,000 strikeouts to get that again. 1,000 for Megan Betza, though. 9 on the game. How about it? The 0-1 misses high. Boy, we sit through the cold, and I'm really looking forward to a payoff, and oh, man. Just going to keep laughing. Marquez standing in there waiting the 1-1 for Megan Betza. That one, off-speed pitch outside, misses for ball 2. Betza taking her time, working in step. Back on the rubber. Marquez evening up that bat, timing up her swing. The 2-1, that one swung on and fouled back. That'll get behind the netting. Foul ball evens the count 2-2.
That was so disappointing.
Boy, oh boy. You can't win them all.
Nope.
The 2-2 pitch. Winding ready as Megan Betza brings it home. That one, missing by a hair on the inside part of the plate. Perhaps a bit inside, perhaps a bit low. The count now full 3-2. Brooke Marquez has a strikeout in her only plate appearance so far today. Hitting 244 on the season now. Betza readies with the payoff pitch to Marquez. 3-2, swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. Strikeout number 1001. How's about that for a makeup call? Another batter down. Another strikeout for Megan Betza. Got a piece of it. Never mind. I'm all over the place now this afternoon. This is just terrible.
It was a good call, though.
I didn't really think she got a piece of that, but I guess she did. 3-2, and that one's going to be a hot shot back up the middle. Turn what could have been a strikeout call into a base hit. They should have just let me have it. The home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl, not obliging. And
life comes at you fast, JP. Life comes at you fast.
Faster than a train. Right in my face. This has been a tough top of the 5th. I'll be happy to walk away when this game's over.
For as tough as the top of the 5th and a 10-0 game can be.
Those listening to Michigan softball on a regular basis, you can take comfort knowing that I'll be over at Ray Fisher for the rest of the weekend, so you won't have to hear me mess up strikeout calls. Lily Novak at the plate. First pitch to Novak. is up high for ball one. Marquez is down at first now, 1 out in the inning. Northwestern down by 10 runs. Michigan 2 outs away from ending it. The 1-0 pitch from Betza. That one down low and inside, just above the feet. 2-0 on Novak. I avatared it.
Yeah, avatared.
There's no other way to put it. Avatared. Betza looking down, ready with the 2-0 pitch to Novak. That one's going to catch the outside part of the plate on a breaker. 2-1.
And now I'm sure this Michigan team's focus is just shifting to getting out of the cold, getting out of here with a win, and getting ready for tomorrow.
That's my focus right now, too. The 2-1 pitch to Novak. Check swing. Appeal down to first base. First base umpire Megan Rabin says yes, she went. It's 2-2 now on Novak. It looked pretty close. I think maybe she just brought it around a bit too much. Rabin down at first with the call. Haven't called her name yet today. The appeal on the righty. 2-2 pitch from Betza to Novak. Winds and readies. That one bounces up in the dirt. Good block by Alexander to keep it in front of her. Marquez stays planted at first, 3-2.
Yeah, that little one maybe just slipped out of Betza's hand on the way through.
Betza takes a step back really quick. Checks her armband. Now back on the rubber. Payoff pitch to Novak. That one a called strike 3. Down goes Novak. Now 1,001.
Now 1,001 career strikeouts.
Take 2 zeros and sandwich it between 2 ones, and that's how many strikeouts Megan Betza has in her career. 2 outs in the inning, up 10. Final call for Northwestern, Sammy Netling at the plate. Betza winds and readies with the first pitch to Netling. That one just misses on the lower edge of the zone. I think it caught plate, but maybe just dipping a bit low. Now headed out to the circle is Jennifer Brundage. To have a quick word with Megan Betza, it'll be Brundage, the catcher Alexander, and Megan Betza in the circle.
Any speculation as to what could be talked about right now in the circle, JP?
Just the easiest point of attack that they've got in the scouting report for Netling. 1 out to go to put this one in the books. It's a 1-0 count. Started it off with a pitch that was close, but not close enough. Give her the 1-2 line up here to try and put Netling away. As soon as they get the out, I'm closing the window.
I'm not going to stop you, certainly.
The 1-0 to Netling. That one catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1 the count now. That was a good pitch from Megan Betza.
Yeah, good rebound pitch there. As the past few of her pitches, besides that strikeout pitch, have been kind of low and away to get a nice piece of the outside part of the plate.
The 1-1. Another called strike. Now Megan Betza's got them stomping their feet here at Alumni Field. They can see the victory in sight. 1-2 the count on Netling. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Michigan leads this one 10-0 over Northwestern. 1 strike away from a run rule victory. The 1-2 pitch to Netling. That one just above the dirt. Snagged by Alexander. The count now even at 2-2. They'll have to get the feet stomping here again in a second. Betza looks over to Jennifer Brundage. Getting her pitch call. Swings those arms loose. Winds, readies with the 2-2. That one just bounces in front of the plate in the dirt, up into the pads of Alexander again. Now the count full, 3-2.
How many different pitch combinations do you think are on that armband? Like
Hard
20?
to say. Hard to say. Whatever combination it might be, Megan Betza looking for her put-away pitch here on Netling. Winds, readies, the 3-2. That one chopped over to third. Grabbed by Swearingen. Throw over to first to Blanco. That'll end this one. Michigan takes it early in 5 innings by a score of 10-0. They are now also on a 10-game win streak. Megan Betza gets her 1,000th career strikeout. A busy afternoon for the Wolverines here at Alumni Field. The bats are awake. Michigan is hitting well. They are now 4-0 in Big Ten play, and they win the opener of the 3-game series against Northwestern.
And it's Megan Betts' season. It's her career. Just another stat in the book for her. Another career accolade. 1,000 strikeouts. It's amazing, and there's still so much more time this year for her to accomplish so much more.
Final line on the game for Megan Betza. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts. And that's going to do it for our broadcast here from Alumni Field. Dalton, any closing thoughts on this one?
Join us tomorrow for Michigan softball as they play game 2, 2 p.m.
against Northwestern here at Alumni Field. You can find us at the same place, YouTube, WCBN Sports, and WCBNsports.org. We'll also have the calls across the yard at Ray Fisher. I'll be migrating over there for Saturday and Sunday. Thank you again to everybody who decided to tune in with us on a chilly Friday afternoon. For Dalton Pataki, I've been Jeremy Parks. Michigan winning this one by a score of 10-0. As always, we will leave you with a good night and a Go Blue.